So dry track, weather is fine. Let's hope, yes.
Yeah.
Suway, that's the face you want to see. Sunday in Newcastle, fire up. Knights and Storm, the kickoff is out on the full. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. And Xavier Coates just incredible work here to get his right leg over the sideline. He had an inkling that it was going to go long, and look at that, just lunging. Great work. Great awareness from Xavier Coates. He's thriving down in Melbourne. And Adam O'Brien, he cannot believe it. He just cannot believe it. The one thing that he would have drummed into them all week after being involved in the Melbourne system, you just cannot give them early exits out of their half. You just can't give them restarts.
That's extraordinary what we've just witnessed there. So, defensive set, 30 metres out from their own line, and Melbourne, when we talk about piggybacks, that's a piggyback straight from the start. Hughes takes them to the right. Here's Big Nelson, taken low down by Daniel Saifiti. Storm will still follow the process early. Grant to the left, Hughes, Munster, Pappenhausen, then across to Bromwich. On it comes for Nick Meaney. And Meaney swamped by the Knights cover there. Well, that'd have been something for a former Knight. Now back to centre field, and Asifa Solomona with it on play number 4. Grant, this time it's a right side attack, and Hughes will run and offloading. Grant does the same. Asifa Solomona, 3rd offload in a row. Grant the 4th, 5th offload in a row, 6th offload in a row. It's an offload-a-thon. And then the ball comes loose.
Six more.
And,
Six more.
Tackle.
Gee, I thought he lost it then. Kenny Bromwich it was. Pappenhausen down the short side.
Our stats guy's got RSI ticking the offload box in one set. It's 10 metres away from the line. Jesse Bromwich plays it right up to the line for King. What a day for him to come back to Newcastle with the number 13 of Melbourne on his back. Grant's wide ball. Munster, good defence, Newcastle. Chuala on Bromwich. He made it count. 15 away from the line. Oh, they could settle the big dummy. And now Grant, and straight away on Newcastle's goal line defence. I think I saw that last week. Someone is not doing their job. It is a fail on their own goal line, their reactions. I think we had 3 tries of that manner last week, and Justin Olam has helped himself 3 minutes in.
Yeah, well, if you go back to the start of the game, if you've only joined us, it was a kick out on the full from Jake Clifford, and Melbourne straight down attacking Newcastle's line. And I'm not so sure there wasn't a knock on there from the Melbourne Storm, but then Harry Grant, what a season he's having. The Queensland dummy half with a luxury of options. He had Nelson pressing just outside his left hip. Olam jammed into the hole. Sasagi he's too strong, Olam, to stop that close to the line one-on-one. But it's the reaction, it's the vision, it's the brilliance of Harry Grant. Yeah, it didn't take them long, Melbourne.
Well, there you have it. Justin Olam and all of PNG go up watching our coverage this afternoon. A try-double last time they played in round 18 last year. He had 15 runs in the game from centre. Justin Olam, special talent.
Well, the sheer confidence that they're playing with. That passage that you called, Andrew, would have had 7 or 8 offloads. Now, we're talking in the second set of the game. All of them under pressure.
This red zone defence, what we call it, inside their 20. Newcastle,
horrible.
Worst in the league.
Yeah.
They concede a try inside 9 tackles inside their own 20 zone. And Melbourne on their first visit have scored here. And Pappenhausen, his first kick of the day, successful, 6-0. Sideline duties this afternoon. We're delighted to have Alex McKinnon back on board with the one and only Matty Russell. Matty.
Good afternoon, Andrew, Michael. Beautiful, benign conditions here in the Hunter. From what we've seen so far this round, maybe plenty of viewers asking, do we get another upset? Can Newcastle beat Melbourne? But Alex McKinnon, let's remember, no one does ruthless better than Craig Bellamy and his Melbourne Storm.
Completely agree, mate. Got to see a lot of action today. There's not a lot of energy from the Knights in here at the moment, and a little bit of a lack of communication. So I'd love to see a massive defensive set here at the moment. But Newcastle are up against it at the moment.
Jake, put it in play. Put it in play. He's done it. If only that could have been the case 3 minutes ago. Anything, anywhere.
Oh, big trouble here. Nelson has just run straight over the top of Suey.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh.
He's got the wobbles. Suey, I think you're entitled to rush the trainer out to him in this instance.
Oh, I'd like another look at it. As for Solomona, carried hard into the line, but looked like he lifted his knee as well. Here it is. Oh, no, it's just the hip. He gets the knee up, but it's the hip of Asper Solomona.
So Melbourne 15 metres inside their own half. The independent doctor obviously reviewing that one. No time for Newcastle to rest.
Oh, here we go.
Attack goes. Pappenhausen Holland's away. Meany's in support. Holland decides not to draw and pass. Well, you've got to criticise occasionally. A little bit of selfish play there. Now they've got the call about Suey here. And Suaso Suey, sometimes known as Jesse, will be taken from the field, which is a shame. He's got a chance in the starting side today, just his 4th game for the year. He's only played a total of 54 minutes this year.
He drops low, and Nelson's just powerful. You can see there, he compresses his body, Nelson, so he's got his elbow and his hip right in that target area of Suey. And it just rattled him. He was gone, wasn't he? And so no surprise that he's leaving the field. Melbourne, what a well-oiled machine, Andrew. They have just clicked straight into gear this afternoon. No conservative approach whatsoever here from Melbourne.
Well, there's no left side, right side dominance. It's everywhere that they just spring into action. They're so quick. React. They're 25 metres out here. It is the last tackle in the set. And it's with King, and it's Hughes, the kicker. He'll look for Coates. Here comes Xavier Coates. Edric Lee's there. Oh, it's got Edric Lee behind the shoulder. And then knocked on by Clune. And we have a penalty, Melbourne, for offside.
Yeah, great work from Jerome Hughes. Such a great target to kick for Xavier Coates, one of the best in the air. And he lands it perfectly. Look, Coates gets around the little congestion there from Edric Lee and coming off the left shoulder, the neck of Edric Lee.
Well, the quick restart. I'm hoping at some point the Knights will touch the ball. We'll have a tackle. I don't want 80 minutes of all Melbourne, and apologies to Storm fans. Here's Hughes with the ball. Now it's Munster. Munster. Overhead ball for Meany.
He just had to go through the hands there, Munster.
4 tries in 6 games as a Storm player. Nick Meany, he's been hurt here. A little slow to his feet. Pappenhausen. Jesse Bromwich. And the goal line defence of Newcastle will again be tested. Harry Grant has scored in each of the last 3 games. He will have a crack at some point. Hughes caught up there. Now for Grant, and this time, may have been forward to King. No, play on the call.
They're stacked to this left-hand side again, Melbourne.
Last tackle, Grant, and they go right. It's a poor ball, but Pappenhausen, ricochet. Ball was there, Kafusi. Newcastle have knocked it on again.
Lost it again.
They've knocked it on again.
But then it's a knock on in there.
My goodness. Well, that's 7 minutes, and they haven't had a tackle.
Just great vision there. Once the referee blew knock on, you should have seen the spine of the Melbourne Storm. They quickly collated together and having deep discussions. The confidence amongst them and the cohesion and how they're able to change from plan A to plan B and C on the run. That was fascinating, just watching them quickly come together to orchestrate what's going to happen here in these next few moments. Brilliant from the Melbourne side. Newcastle, jeez, under pressure.
Well, you're watching at home. Hughes will feed the scrum conventional, the halfback. Grant at lock. Pappenhausen first receiver left, then Munster.
Wait for the break. Pull in.
Then Olam, then Meany. And they go the other way. Deception. Harry Grant. Harry Grant's within a couple of minutes of the line. Still offloaded away to Coates. He's got a 4-pointer. It'll be 8 or 9 minutes and Newcastle still haven't had a tackle. They're already 10 points down. You said well-oiled machine. It's 5-star quality.
They just have strike right across the park, and it's a lovely bit of deception at the scrum play where Pappenhausen and Munster swung hard to that left-hand side. Hughes and Grant out to this right-hand side, and then 3, 4, 5 Newcastle defenders in there around Harry Grant. And the strength of the young dummy half gets through the tackle of Clune. There's Jones, there's Best, there's Safidi. And they can't wrap him up. Ponga's there. Edric Lee's in there. The catch and pass from Smith, brilliant. And Xavier Coates, well, he's having a great old time in this Melbourne jumper. He picks up another try, and the Newcastle Knights side, whether it's left, whether it's right, they are in dire straits, and Melbourne carving them, absolutely carving them.
Well, this is beginning to become a mathematics test today. So what's that? 64 points in their last 49 minutes of rugby league from the Melbourne Storm, and Coates has another one. How good is life for him now? 8 tries for the season with his new club. And over to Ryan Pappenhausen, who's just had the 5 misses this year.
What about Newcastle? Have not touched the ball.
No, haven't
Melbourne 5
come off
5
last week.
Not a run meter to their name. Not a single run to their name. Not a touch of the footy, other than knocking on.
So Pappenhausen, it's going to swing across the face. 10-0 scoreline. Now there's some judiciary news to bring to us away from the action on the field here, Matty Russell.
Andrew, you're right, the charge sheet is out from yesterday, and Canberra's Jack Whiten hit with a grade 2 dangerous throw and looking at between 2 and 3 weeks on the sideline. That, of course, after the grade 3 dangerous throw from Carl Lawton on Friday night. So dangerous throws, a topic of round 8, sadly. Back to this ground, McDonald Jones Stadium. Alex McKinnon, what are you seeing right now? Troubling times for the Knights.
The Melbourne are so professional. Eyes up on every single play, executing, and they're literally playing against themselves at the moment. Newcastle need to build some pressure here and get back in the game.
So Melbourne from the restart. And there's Nelson again. He's sort of almost floating there back at the Newcastle defenders. Set starts 10 metres away from their own line. Now Jesse Bromwich, the veteran of the side at 32. Like 33rd birthday looming this week. His brother Kenny twisted in that tackle and
Crusher. All the Melbourne players went up here, and now we see the penalty. Kenny Bromwich just twisted awkwardly in the tackle of Tyson Frizzell, and the Melbourne players, 4, 5, 6 of them behind the ruck, all throwing their hands in the air. It's on report. It's one of those unfortunate ones where Bromwich just gets twisted in the tackle. Well, Frizzell certainly comes over the top with that right arm. And again, discipline and errors just killing Newcastle here. Look at Hughes, he's barking orders. He knows what's coming, and this Newcastle side under siege and back inside their own half.
So this is now over 10 minutes without the ball, Newcastle. There's Warriors fans watching at the moment. Their reaction is meh.
Yeah, see?
And here's Asifa Solomona. Yes, that's
Told you how hard it is to play Melbourne.
That's right. Harry Grant. Only at halfway, Jones made the tackle on the big fella. Now Hughes. Oh, Munster. Good hands. Pappenhausen. Away from Meany. Away from the sideline.
Well, Sasai and Tuala just getting absolutely torn to shreds out on that right side for Newcastle.
Sasongi only in his 5th game in the NRL. Second time he started at centre. So 30 metres away from the Knights' line. Jesse Bromwich, Asifa Solomona. If Newcastle get a tackle, there may be a standing ovation. As in a tackle with the ball in hand is Jesse Bromwich. Cameron Munster, he's looking for Meany. It's too far. And this will finally be a chance for Newcastle. Stop the clock just under 12 into the game.
Yeah, they're just attacking them on both sides of the field. A nice interchange of pass through the middle as well there from Jesse Bromwich to Asifa Solomona. And there you go, 52 tackles now for the Knights. There's Newcastle's first run. That's Edric Lee driven back 3 metres.
So finally, the Knights get their hands on the ball against the red-hot Melbourne Storm. And 10 points is the handicap start for them. It's Kalen Ponga. If there is still belief, they have to just go about their work. You can't be looking up at the scoreboard. Across to Frizzell. He wanted a set restart. Tyson, Saifidi. It's a big day for Daniel.
That's
I mean, if he's an Origin player, he's averaging 99 metres a game. That's not Origin stats. So he's got to stand up today. And now Clifford's put it on the full. What on earth was that? He was a hack.
It has been a horrible start for Jake Clifford. Kick out on the full to start the match. Adam O'Brien, he cannot believe it. And this time, well, that's just
he's angled.
He's not even under pressure. His hips are facing the sideline.
But he was kicking towards the trotting trap, was his aim. Oh, that's an amazing, but that wasn't a miss kick. That's where he was aiming to kick it.
Bizarre, Ian.
Get square, David.
My goodness.
The kick selection wasn't the right one, that's for sure.
No. Melbourne with the ball on halfway. 13 minutes into the contest. Here is Grant. Now King. Footwork. Got him. Pass. Jacob Saifiti there. Just step past him.
Can't walk through the ruck. And Harry Grant does a tremendous job here.
And play breaks down. It's back here.
Just basically waltzes and walks around the footy, knowing that Clune was in the ruck. Just watch this from Grant. This is clever. Look, yeah, just knows that the referee there will absolutely have to blow a penalty. He can't walk straight back through the ruck. And Melbourne now, they're fantastic in this scenario. In set pieces, in moments where they can organise their structure. Watch them go to work here. I expect them to attack this right side of Newcastle and the space around Sasang and Clifford.
So here is Kafusi on play one in that red zone of the Knights. Let's see if the stats ring true. Grant, Jerome Hughes. The setup is for Nelson Asa for Solomona. Still hasn't scored a try this year, Big Nelson. Took 3 to stop him there. Grant now. Old-fashioned run around with Bromwich and Hughes. That's Pappenhausen. Stepped away from Clune and then it came to a complete stop. I think it was injury. He just wanted to avoid obstruction. And this time, Kings run through without it. And but they get a penalty.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this because Grant often gets out holding the ball out in front of his body.
Penalty. He's offside breaking play down. It's a marker penalty.
Marker penalty. There you go.
David,
So they're
I understand
saying
you cannot break play down in that area of the field. It's a penalty here. Marker's broken play down.
I'm okay with what David Clemmer did there. I've got no problem with that. I think he's square. As Grant picks the ball up, he's allowed to move. He's allowed to attack the dummy half.
Yeah, sometimes you have a situation where the man playing the ball steps to the side and that suddenly puts the marker.
That's
not
right.
square. But anyway, that's where we're at with that one. Technical.
5
but you
penalties
can't
now
challenge it.
for Melbourne.
And here is Josh King with the ball. So play one this time is 10 metres away the line. They certainly finish off their work there, the Knights. Harry Grant across with Jerome Hughes, Munster, Pappenhausen. Meany for the corner is taken over the sideline. I reckon Ponga's done the job there and deserves the accolades of his teammates.
Yeah,
Good to see the desperation.
I thought they passed a little early, Melbourne, but Mooney had plenty of opportunity to get to the corner, and that's great work from Kalen Ponga. That is great commitment from Ponga, lunging, throwing his body, and saves the day. Great play from the Newcastle captain.
Yeah, that wasn't just getting there. That was putting everything kitchen sink to get across there. Try saver, Kalen Ponga. 10-0 scoreline, 16 minutes gone. And given the amount of ball Melbourne have had, 10-0 ain't that bad, I suppose, if you get closer to the 20-minute mark. Now, Knights get a penalty.
Yeah, the home fans, they love that. Harry Grant just holding down too long. Clifford now with an opportunity to kick them out of trouble. And he rifles that down towards the 40-metre line. And Newcastle now get an opportunity to find some rhythm. Frizzell.
Just to highlight the weight of possession, I just thought I'd update you on the Melbourne tackle count. Jesse Bromwich leads that with 4. Felice Kafusi yet to make one. Kenny Bromwich 1. Some of the work rates of the Melbourne forwards. Incredible stats through 17 minutes. Knights 40 metres away from the line. Clemmer wanted a set restart there. Daniel Saifiti, both Daniel and Jacob out there at the moment. Jacob playing the middle forward. Now they get the set restart. And there's a little bit of emotion coming into the performance, which may be the trigger for Newcastle here. The crowd have bought into it. They will try what they can. Here's Randall. Clemmer, short to Jacob. Jacob Saifiti to play it. 12 away from the line. Crowd vibrant now. Clune doesn't pass, and King's all over him there. Still a big opportunity this set. Randall, Clemmer. And so it offered, he's still waiting to score his first try in Newcastle colours, Big Clem. Randall fires it across for Clune. Going across field, and that's not the way to go, as Asifa Solomona swatted him. Last play, Knight, short side, and with it is Clifford. He hasn't kicked. He'll take the tackle. Look, it's not fatal, but there's no doubt his confidence is way down, Clifford.
Yeah, it was really nice work out here on the right side from the Melbourne Storm. Kalen Ponga wanted the footy off David Clemmer, and he jammed up hard right into the face of Kalen, Jerome Hughes, and they were unable to get the footy to him, as we see Brandon Smith. What an injection this will be if they need one, Melbourne boy. But just no signs of life in Newcastle's attack, really, is there?
No, not from the 6 or 7.
No.
At all. And Ponga wasn't a factor in that attacking set there.
Great
There's
offload.
another offload, and Pappenhausen, the hurdler. Justin Olam, the offload.
Newcastle down a middle forward for the rest of the game. Su'e has failed his HIA.
Yes, no surprise at that. Grant now with King.
Tyson, let him go.
78 games he played in his time over 6 seasons with the Knights. Josh King. Now Jesse Bromwich, offloads hurting. Munster playing a bit of backyard footy here, Cameron. Across he goes, almost into the neighbour's place there. Went a long way across field.
So strong, look at him. They just can't get him. Well, they finally get him to ground.
Tackle 5, go back, mate. Yep, last tackle.
Go back where? Well, he's not going back.
Hold that line and be very careful. Push up, Marcus. Let's go, mate. Last tackle, go.
So here we have last play with Jerome Hughes. And he's going to kick down Ponga's way, with Remus Smith leading the charge. Ponga with a ball for the Knights. Presented with a straight line in front of him. So Knights get another possession. They've had only 3 completed sets in 19.5 minutes. But the longer it stays at 10-0, if you can try and put positive spin on it, okay, that's not so bad.
Well, they've got themselves into a bit of rhythm. They're going set for set footy here with Melbourne, something they weren't able to do. They didn't touch it for the opening 10 minutes or so. And all of a sudden, Melbourne's big men now in the heat here, having to make some tackles, and a little bit of fatigue coming into them. Clune, though, has got no options. That's the 3rd or 4th time he's been tackled in the last 2 sets. And he's blowing up.
Randall back to Clifford. He's got a high one away. Pappenhausen coming in to attack it. Ooh, just for a moment. But he's all over it. Player of the match in the Anzac Day match against the Warriors. Another big points haul. 10 tries for the season, Ryan Pappenhausen. In fact, he's scored at least 1 try in his last 6 games now. Only round 1 this year, he didn't get his name on the try sheet. Here's Olam. Oh, that's a good tackle.
Sangi just picking up Justin Olam. We don't see that often.
Get square. Don't hold his arm.
15 inside their own half. This time Brandon Smith dishing it up for Kenny Bromwich.
Marcus square.
Bright sunshine here in Newcastle at McDonald Jones Stadium. Pappenhausen, Olam. That ball was, I thought it was forward to Meany. It was still
Great
slick.
tackle.
Ponga's the last line of defence again. Now kept alive, long and wide. Munster, not so great. The next one, Kafusi, back for Hughes. Yes, it is the last tackle. He looked up, referee put his arm back up. Smith away to Coates. Coates kicked back in field.
Well, Hughes is onside.
Hughes is there. Hughes is there. Hughes is there.
I don't think Browning's fine.
Well, the Knights fans have got some issues with forward passes. We can't review that. It'll only be offside and put down the check. No try.
Yeah, he's not happy, and I don't think Jerome Hughes is overly confident with the put down either. We'll need to have another look at that, but it was a bizarre moment down this right-hand side. Jerome Hughes just caught the footy, looking at the referee as saying, is it still the 5th? Waited a second or two, then the referee decided to put his hand up. So then they went the flick pass down the right-hand side. Coates, does he get the ball down off the... Yeah, that's a try. Absolutely, that's a try.
Well, there's no problem with the put
Jerome
down.
Hughes grounds the ball in the in-goal. We have a decision.
And he's onside.
The flick from Remus Smith was all class. But the moments around Jerome Hughes were fascinating. The Knights defence just sat and watched him while he waited to get the tackle count call off the referee. And Jerome Hughes just continues to compete on every play while other players hesitated and watched what was going on. Jerome Hughes just accelerated Just watch this. The pass from Munster doesn't find the target. Kafusi picks the ball up, realises it's the last, goes back to Hughes. Look at Hughes here, waiting. The referee's got his arm down, then he puts his arm up again. So Hughes goes the flick pass, catch and pass. Coates does well, question marks over the pass. That was allowed to play on. And Jerome Hughes, one of the great competitors, he gets there.
Yeah.
Look at this moment where he's just waiting for the referee's signal and then bang, they just go straight to work, Melbourne right edge. Great skill from Xavier Coates to kick back infield, in behind Ponga. And little Jerome Hughes, what a star he is.
Yeah, a lot of instinctive stuff in that, wasn't there? I mean, that just doesn't happen. You train, you must train it at an intensity to be able to do that in a game. The suddenly react, flick, Remus Smith, the kick from Coates, so many elements to that try.
Great trust, Andrew, from one another.
They now have their third, and Pappenhausen's pushed it left. 14 points to 0. Alex McKinnon, part of our commentary team today. Help out the Knights right now, Alex.
Obviously, there's an injury concern with Adam Clune down here, just coming back from a PCL last week, a knee injury. But he's ginger on the wing out here, and he pulled up really sore on the sideline chasing that winger across there. And Remus Smith didn't train all week with the Melbourne Storm, and he showed absolutely no fear then with that flick pass and committing to the play. So the boys need to get back into it here.
Adam Clune's had the most runs for Newcastle. He just hasn't had any support around him. Every time he's caught the ball or wanted to get some sort of play on, or players pushing around him, no one's been on time, no one's been in the right spot.
Jake Clifford, he's got the range right again. Same spot, down to Hughes, and here comes Bromwich back for Melbourne. 14-0 scoreline, so again, we go back to last week, it's now 68 straight points in their last 64 minutes, staying ahead of the clock, the Melbourne Storm, without conceding a solitary point. Brandon Smith on this carry.
Great run, look at this, and he'll fight to play the ball too.
Went right up over the 30-metre line. Jerome Hughes out for Smith, running at Clune. Was able to get past Clune and Best at their first attempts. That's the fourth. This time with Coates. Last play, Melbourne, Grant, Munster. This kick will be out to the wing of Anari Chuala. He had a little bit of space between he and the chasers there. And a relief for the Knights to have the ball back in their possession. By the way, we're talking about possession flow, but they're not making a mistake either. They've had only the one error. 12 of 13, Melbourne completing. And here's Edric Lee. Third game back. Ponga. Nice little step and swerve there. On for Bradman Best. Smith on him. They need a bit out of Bradman Best today as a strike. This time for Clemmer. Saifiti. Randall. Cutout ball Jones. Brodie Jones. Straight run. Clune. Randall. There'll be no more passing there. Last play Knights. Ponga. They're making it up on the run there, so he kicks out a dummy half. There was nothing set up. No one reacting quick enough. That's come off the leg of Coates. Well, I reckon that should be tackle count restarted. You can't just stand there and let the ball hit you in a bomb situation. If that's touched Coates, I'm saying Knights get 6 to go.
Gee, that's ordinary from Newcastle. They're running out of answers. Kalen Ponga having to kick out of dummy half.
Newcastle are challenging the decision of 6.
You don't understand my point. You can't say not play that. When the ball is coming to you for a bomb, you can't just become a statue. If you get hit by it, then I'm afraid the tackle count restarts if the opposition get it back.
Well, it certainly hits him on the leg. There's no doubt about that. But the bottom line is, Andrew, that Jake Clifford was sitting on the right-hand side. Clune's got a busted knee, and he's signalling to Ponga, go to Clune, go to Clune. Jake Clifford's got to get himself into the game.
So that's played at because he got under the ball where it's going to land and it's hit him. And because it's not his hands, he put himself in a position where the ball is going to land. So he's played at the ball. If he doesn't want to play at it, be 3 metres away from where it's going to land. It's like the castle.
In our
it's the
opinions,
vibe
over
he
here,
might
Coates puts himself in that position, therefore playing at the ball.
Well done.
We have a restart of the tackle count. The challenge is successful.
Well done.
And if you're going to put yourself there, you would like to think you're going to contest it. And that's another good challenge there.
It's going to be in tackle 1, okay?
Caleb Ponga has had involvements from running from dummy half. They need to use him better than just running from dummy half, but at least he's going looking to get himself into the game. Jake Clifford at the moment looks lost out there.
Here's Clemmer on to Leo Thompson. Big one for him today in his 8th game of first grade. Rocking horns with the Melbourne pack. Now Randall. Cross with Clifford. Ponga, they come up.
Great
stuff.
read.
Right in his face. Says, looking forward to Origin, Caleb. Let's share a room. Here's Frizzell. Clifford quickly on. Sasangi gets inside the 20.
Nice footwork, Sasangi. Beat a couple of Melbourne players there.
Well, this is an opportunity. Bit of sustained pressure, finally. Landler's trying his best for them. In late offload. Clemmer gets a little look towards the goal line. Last play, Knights. It'll go out for Clune and Ponga. Ponga running it best. Beautiful hands, Edric Lee. Lee now changes course. Ponga's with it, still no kick. Goes wide, Clifford, overlap. There is Chuala. There's Sasangi. The Knights were running hot there, and it took all of Melbourne's premier scramble to stop that.
Yeah, well, it started with Sasangi. It was great footwork, got a good play the ball. This is the flick pass back inside. That was nice from Chuala. And the scramble defence of Melbourne under pressure. Some offloads now from Newcastle, testing Melbourne. Oh, yeah, good shot there. Leo Thompson it was. Out of the line for Newcastle.
Yeah, don't turn it up, stay in the contest. Here's Justin Olam. Thompson gets in there again. Not worried about reputations. Melbourne inside their own 20 here. The hero is now on. And the hero on his first carry gets it up over the 20. Now for Pappenhausen. Gets that crouch in his running style. You know he's about to take you up through the gears pretty quickly. With Liero, he's featured in every game this year. So others leave the club and he's earning his stripes now. Munster sets it up for a high bomb from halfway. Ponga with it. In Hughes in his face, got away from Hughes, got away from Kafusi, beat a third. That was King. 3 tackle bus, 1 run, Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, having some nice individual touches, Kalen Ponga. Saved a really good try on Nick Mooney early in the game. Tuala now carrying hard. He's over halfway, got through the tackle of Brandon Smith. Newcastle just pressing, starting to find a way through Melbourne.
Better set, and they've played a little bit more up-tempo here. Knights. Clune. Oh, and then Leo Thompson. What an anti-climax, all of that. Well, the knock-on's a long way downfield. Pappenhausen still goes back for it and decides, hang on a second. The audacity of Melbourne there, but no, that was disappointing because they'd done well the last few sets, Newcastle. And
yeah, well, Thompson was just far too flat on Clune, and Clune falling off his pass. The pass just became too hard. Just too hard for Thompson to hang on to under that sort of pressure from Melbourne getting off their line. And again, Newcastle just gifting field position. Only 6 from 8 sets they've been able to get through.
Coming up after this one, Dragons and the Tigers on Fox League. And Sunday night with Matty Johns, Victor Radley on the show tonight. Puts himself at the mercy of the Sunday night panel. Will be good viewing. As here is Munster for Melbourne on halfway. If you joined us late, the first 12 minutes of play, Newcastle did not have a tackle with the ball in hand. They kicked out on the full. 12 minutes later, they got their first tackle. They got their first play.
And down 10-0.
And down 10-0 against Melbourne. Well, they've Forward is the cry from many. King, and I think I may have heard someone say their eyes are painted on. It's an oldie but a goodie. As Grant now goes for Smith and Munster, then for Olam. Olam sort of looking up to King.
He's got through.
Oh, he's got straight through. Justin Olam!
That's brilliant.
No! The Knights' defence inside their 20 again has been ripped to shreds by one man there. Justin Olam, he's made of concrete. With 2 legs underneath the rest of it, he just keeps moving.
Well, they were awful last week, the right edge of Newcastle, and that's exactly where Melbourne have gone all afternoon. And there's just nothing on. Brandon Smith finds Munster, Olam, Kafusi, they're just not in shape at all. And Olam just decides to take on the line and just makes a mockery, makes an absolute mockery of the Newcastle defenders. Watch this. There is nothing on. Sasagi, bang, get off me. You're gone. There goes Clifford. Through that one. Tuala comes, beats Ponga, then gets rid of Clemmer from the inside. That's outstanding individual try.
Wow.
And
wow.
O'Brien just drops the head.
The head gone down like a beaten favourite.
Oh, look at that. The PNG International, doesn't he enjoy it?
I'll get your opinion, Michael, and we're seeing the try scores. There's Justin Olam. You break down the Melbourne back line, there's a couple of former Bulldogs in it when they won a wooden spoon. They got a former Bronco who won a wooden spoon at Brisbane. They got this bloke from PNG, Justin Olam. They got a bloke at fullback who never played a game in first grade at the Tigers. The halfback, Jerome Hughes, played 2 games of first grade before he joined them over about 5 seasons. Shows you can build a side, Michael.
Well, it just shows how important when we talk about recruitment and retention is, and doing your homework. And the Melbourne Storm have done that better than anyone for such a long time. Pappenhausen adds the extras, and you're right, it's incredible what they've been able to do, and the way that they've been able to instill confidence and trust and belief in some individuals that weren't getting great opportunities at other clubs. Again, just watch this. Sasagi just thrown off through brute strength. Clifford, he's having a horror first half, and Kalen Ponga just coming direct and fast, attacking. Justin Olam got cut in half with that left foot. Bellamy. Oh, this is just the start, just the opening half, and the response that he would have wanted after that shellacking of the Warriors last week.
There are good stories
They
in
are a
rugby
great
league,
side.
and Justin Olam remains one of the best. The humility and how humble this man is. Used to play with his rugby league, first rugby league was played with a plastic Coke bottle weighed down with grass clippings to make it a little heavier. That's where he started his football journey.
Just look at this. There's Frizzell caught in the tackle. That right edge of Newcastle again stripped, and that's where they go.
Pappenhausen and almost away. So Olam has 2, Melbourne have 4, and here's Justin Olam again. And his stats for the day now, 9 runs. He's up around 100 metres, 6 tackle busts, 2 offloads, 3 line breaks. I'll stop there. Stay with the play. The Storm, it takes too long to go through Olam's stats and his Supercoach points. Last tackle here for the Storm. Grant for Smith. And Munster's the kicker again. It is out Tuala's way. They're going to not play the ball. Again, he's got a bit of time. So no signs of complacency from Melbourne. Still going through their sets. And at this time given away a penalty.
Phoenix Crossland about to come into the action.
Clune stays out. Look, they know about the injury. They know it probably requires surgery, but they'll battle through. But I don't think you can have your 7 as a passenger.
No, but just watching the Newcastle attack that was built so much on what Kurt Mann was doing with the footy in the opening 2 weeks of the competition, that they're really missing Kurt Mann through the middle. They're really missing that ball playing option, because that's how they look like they've spent all summer designing their attack. Crossland there now.
Clune on to Jones. Knights are 41 metres away from the Melbourne line. Back in for Crossland, on for Clemmer.
Yeah, he's going to play that ball-playing role, Crossland.
Oh, then lost, but backwards by Crossland, then lost by Thompson, and oh dear. It's not pretty. Let's take a comment from the sideline. Alex McKinnon.
He's one man out there, Kalen Ponga, is trying his backside off. They just lack a lot of communication. I'm sitting on the sideline here. There's just not a lot of talk amongst the team. That's one thing which is quite glaringly. Individually, they'll be a bit disappointed with their performances, but as a team, they're just not playing together. There's no gel. Credit to Melbourne, mate. When they execute a play, they've identified obviously a weakness on the right side, like they did last week with the injury on the wing to the Warriors, mate. They're going up their right side here today, and I don't think they're going to stop.
Let's go, Tyson. Heading, mate.
74 points their last 80 minutes, Melbourne. Well, not quite 80. It's 74 in 74 right at the moment.
Hands off him, bro.
Now for Kaufusi.
It is brutal how Melbourne just exploit a weakness. They are so disciplined at just staying there. They never get bored of pulling apart weaknesses in opposition sides. They find it and they just stay there for the 80 minutes. Look at them just like wild dogs attacking this right edge of Newcastle, who struggled last week against Parramatta.
Now Grant. Munster and in front for Hughes. Now they're all in motion again. Oh, Kaufusi. Good tackle there. That was Clune up in the line. Quick play the ball for Grant. He's running with runners to pick from, and Brandon got crunched there. Left and right side by the Knights defence. Grant quickly along. Munster out the back. Take it on the feet of Bromwich. Meaney kicks back in field. There's a lot of outside blowers. Maybe not Pappenhausen. Oh, it takes it dead. I'd have to be sure everyone was offside, I assume.
Ryan Pappenhausen was sitting on the right side of the field, almost on the numbers, almost out on the scrum line. And Leo Thompson and Brodie Jones were their only hope. Their only hope. He got a horrid bounce, Pappenhausen. Look at this. Look where he's sitting. He was sitting miles out on that right-hand side. Just the competitor in Ryan Pappenhausen and the speed. Terrifying. Look at this for a dropout.
Yeah, nice carry from Clifford.
65.
Pappenhausen with it. And King it is bringing it back.
Well, King just got 30 running metres on the back of a dropout.
The arrow has come in and picked up where the starters left off. Grant, Munster, Hughes, overhead, Smith with Coates on his outside. Better from Bradman Best and Clune combining there. 15 from the line. Pappenhausen halfway through the set. Hughes and Grant. They'll use the width again. Munster giving it to the straight runner, Bromwich. Melbourne fans watching our Fox League coverage probably thinking, find Olam again. He's hot. Smith, Hughes. Look at them run around the defence here. Smith to Coates. He set sights. He changed his direction. He's got another one. It's like shelling peas for Xavier Coates. He's never seen the sun shine brighter. 9 tries at his new club.
Yeah, watch the work here from Harry Grant and Brandon Smith and just how they lock in the Knights' middle defenders. Grant just a couple of steps out of dummy half. Brandon Smith goes deep into the line, and just some incredible ball movement and some soft defence. That's brilliant execution. Hughes catch and pass straight there to Pappenhausen. And the timing of Kaufusi, the pass from Remus Smith, and the big right foot step, bang on the inside there. And Bradman Best is overcompensating. Ponga went past the footy. And that's just, it's too easy. It really is. Their goal line defence, you mentioned it, Andrew. Newcastle, it's been horrendous over the last few weeks, and some of the tries in the last few minutes. Pretty ordinary.
If he kicks this goal, that's 80 and 80.
Yeah.
Oh, that's never. That's an amazing little stat. The synergy, 80 in their last 80. To nil, folks. 80-0.
I don't know where Adam O'Brien goes at halftime with Newcastle. I really don't. This town just, they thrive on commitment, and at the moment, Newcastle. You've just got to get your body in front. You've got to get your body in front defensively. You can be taught all the techniques in the world, but if you don't want to put your body in front and work hard for one another, it's going to be a long day when you play a great side like this. And at the moment, Newcastle just not committing in defence. Pappenhausen's drilled it.
Go. It's 80. It's 80 points. It's 80 straight points in 2 halves. 2 separate oppositions. Mind you, there's still 2 minutes to go. It's 80 and 78 to be exact. Wow. And Harry Garside is in the house. Good luck to Harry. It's a big week. Matty Russell will catch up with Harry at halftime. Georgie Rose there. One-time Melbourne Storm player who was lucky to survive the off-season training. He did say that was...
He's a character.
That was torturous.
Great character too, Georgie Rose. I played junior footy against him. He was playing for Penrith in the SG Ball and Harold Matthews era that I came through, and he was always a handful. He was a good player, George.
Down from Bathurst, so into the final minutes we go. Surely there's not another try. 5 in the first half. 26-0 to Melbourne. There's some driving defence by the Knights. Dragons and Tigers, keep your set turned on this afternoon here on Fox League. Both games covered. We had Mounties and the Knights earlier today. At least there was spirit showing.
Ran out of dummy half.
The New South Wales Cup. Grant caught by Thompson. Here's Smith. Kafusi. For the moment, they're giving the Knights right side a little break in defence. Maybe not for long. Hughes. Across. Here they go. Munster inside to Pappenhausen.
Yeah, nice work, Crossland back on the inside.
Last tackle, Tyson gets
And they've done well in this set defensively, the Knights. Last play, Grant. Out of dummy half, kicks, one bounce, Ponga. Wow, fangs it across to Edrick. Big pass, that was some 25-metre throw from Kalen there. Now for Bradman Best. Into the play. The carry for Bradman, just his third of the match. This time, Chuala. Overall, the possession play will show 31% of the ball, just 7 completed sets. Knights, 18 completed sets. Melbourne. Then Randall, Crossland, Clune calling for Jones to go under, but it's at walking speed. Randall, Crossland, Clifford, Frizzell. Now back inside. Good pickup. Crossland throws to no one. Look out. Could be more points. No. We've got a penalty. Oh, gee. You're down 26-0. There's 7 seconds to go. You just about got to go for goal. I mean, I know it's extraordinary, but what else you going to do?
Andrew. Go for goal.
Well, what are you going to do? There's the half-time siren. What are you going to do?
What are they going to do with the 2
They're
points?
going for goal.
They are not.
They're going for goal.
And the home fans they're on their feet. The home fans.
Well, it's to end the scoring streak of the Storm. Poor old Newcastle last week kicked the penalty goal against Parramatta and never scored again. Now they're going to go for goal on half-time at 26-0 down. Well, I don't know. In all seriousness, should they kick for touch?
Should they just
a roll or
throw up the bomb and hope?
Yeah, like
something.
So here they go.
The 2 points, I don't think they'll help at all this afternoon with what we've seen.
Not one of the biggest moments in the club's history, this one, I wouldn't think, as Clifford from in front, 43 metres out. He hit the kick, on his first kick-off of the day, he can get the distance.
He can get the distance.
We go, sorry, Jake, he's got it in flight. He's got it in flight. Yes! Yes!
The home
Knights are going to go. Up they go. The Flames are going
this.
off. They're up. They're up. They've got a goal. You got to keep your sense of humour, folks. 5 tries to Melbourne first half. The mighty Melbourne Storm leading the Newcastle Knights on Fox League by 26 points to 2. Second half underway in Newcastle. Sun gone behind the clouds. Oh my goodness. What happened there? Sorry, did they miss the kickoff?
So they kick off out on the full to start the game, and now Melbourne kick off, and it was a bludger of a kick. It landed perfectly for someone to be able to stop it. And the Knights players, Caleb Ponga allowed it to bounce. Leo Thompson just watches it go. Look, it's not yet. Jeez.
Yeah, what do you say?
Yeah, I'll leave that.
I mean, do they sell sick bags in team colours? Because Adam O'Brien probably needs one after that. Just got back to his seat, just given a big stirring address. You know, let's go back again. Now Munster on to Liero.
Well, in the opening half, they didn't touch the ball for the first 10 or 12 minutes. Well, you can't believe it, Adam O'Brien.
That's painful. Munster with the ball, 25 metres out from the Knights line. You don't be gifting Melbourne these opportunities. Here's Smith. It's hard enough as it is. They're 10 metres away from the line. The line is set big and right. Grant's Munster first receiver. Hughes cut out. Good tackle, Edric Lee. Right up on Remus Smith. Dominant tackle. Last play, Harry Grant. He's the stab kicker, and well done, Brodie Jones. Jones comes back around. Melbourne claim obstruction and get a penalty.
There wasn't a lot doing down that right-hand side where Harry Grant kicked.
It's an obstruction.
He runs around behind Clune and Pappenhausen. I'm not sure Pappenhausen would have been able to make the tackle anyway.
I understand what you're saying. It's an obstruction, mate. Right, Harry, just wait, mate.
Well, everything going Melbourne's way again here to start the second half.
It was an obstruction because two other players who could have then made a tackle put their hand up. To highlight there's been some rugby league tragedy there. Kenny Bromwich. Munster, well, he submitted there and then still, Frizzell's had a little crack at him.
Bit of extra work there from Randall, I think it was, over the top.
Harry Grant again. Smith, Hughes, Smith. Oh, it's Coates. It's another one. It's another one. It's a trot. It is a trot to the corner. Like he shut it right down like a drag racer. He's got 4 last week. Now he gets another 3.
Yeah, just watch the work from Grant out of dummy half again. So he just brings that Newcastle defensive line forward, and the lovely long passes. Jerome Hughes, great work. Xavier Coates, he won't get an easier one than that today, I wouldn't imagine, but great pass there from Harry Grant, linking up with his other dummy half partner in Brandon Smith. Nice catch and pass. Jerome Hughes, and then great work out on that right-hand side. Xavier Coates, well, they're hitting them everywhere now, and it was a tirade down the left-hand side, and as the game's evolved, Melbourne have started to threaten down that right-hand side, and Xavier Coates now really injecting himself. That's his 3rd try of the afternoon. And it's been a horrendous start. Both starts to the halves for Newcastle have been horrendous.
Seriously, again, how things. Look, I'm not saying the scoreline's any different, but if we go back to the first kick-off of the day and just get into the game, Newcastle, I don't know whether it's any different. And then second half, just get back into the game, and that happens.
Yeah, I was intrigued to see how they came out of the sheds. It's one of those difficult moments for Adam O'Brien. Does he put a rocket up the side, or does he try and ignite them in a different way? And they come out and just allow the ball to bounce. The Pappenhausen kickoff just rolling dead, and they just, it's like the deflation just seeps straight in.
So this one is swinging across the face, but a try-scoring start in the second half by Melbourne. Sideline, Matty Russell.
Where to now for Newcastle? Well, here's what Adam O'Brien had to say at half-time. Boys, we've only had 34% of the ball. I want you to compete. I want you to achieve a balance of possession, maybe even dominate possession, and see what we can do from there. Here's a fantastic insight into Melbourne. At half-time, guess what they weren't happy with? Their defence. They believe they can be better defensively, especially in the hit and stick area. That's why they're so ruthless. That man wants them to defend better, even though they've given up only 2 points.
Yeah, and lead the line break count 7-0. Have completed at 91%, Melbourne.
Yeah, phenomenal.
In leading 30 points to 2.
Let go now, David. Marcus,
Penalty goal after the half-time siren to Newcastle, where they thought they may as well just take something.
I tell you, the blue shirt from Newcastle today is getting some miles running that kicking tee out there for them to kick off.
Wonderful commentary, Michael Ennis. That's why we paid the big dollars as Justin Holland comes back with the ball. Someone's got to do the job. Didn't think marathon runner would be one of the qualifications. Distance runner. As now Brandon Smith on for Hughes, Kafusi and Smith. There's a contrast. Remus Smith hasn't scored a try the last 6 weeks. The man outside him can't stop scoring tries. Ponga with the ball for Newcastle. So 5 minutes in, they'll have a run. Their only run saw an obstruction play. There's Edric Lee. Still trying hard, Edric.
Yeah. He's looking for work, hasn't he? when they have had the ball. That's a strong run, Brodie Jones.
Well, he's had the most runs of any Knights player. Again, that was the case last week too against the Eels. Bradman Best with the ball. And they are 9 metres inside their own half, the Knights. This time for Clemmer. And Clemmer's lost the ball.
So you see there, Edric Lee started it, then it was Brodie Jones, then Bradman Best, David Clemmer, all one out. You watch the Melbourne Storm go to work, and the way that they hold shape and the amount of support and short passes that they have. That's a great shot from Harry Grant. Great technique. In nice and low on the big man. Not going over the top, trying to cuddle and trying to manage him, going in to hit him hard.
Liero hit hard right at the ball, and Clemmer was signalling strip, but no, just a hit on the ball.
Let's go.
And Clemmer knew that.
Kalen, right in. Cock off. Just wait, Jerome. Just wait. Felice, you've got to get your head right in, mate. Right, let's go. Ball
30
in.
points to 2 it is. That feed nowhere near the tunnel as Munster gets inside the Knights half. I don't know what they do at 6 and 7, the Knights. Joey's part of the coaching group. Is he fit enough to start next week? Well, I don't think they can stick with what they have at the moment. Now it's been lost by Melbourne. It went up the back, and Clem will say, well, that's a bit of justice there. Liero losing the ball, and that's a rare early tackle count mistake by Melbourne today.
Yeah, he needed to hang on to that, Liero, and David Clemmer's hands on the footy.
Yeah, he's got him back. That's a nice little exchange in a space of a couple of minutes.
And that's that moment I'm talking about, where the Melbourne forwards just never go to the line on their own. They've always got support. That time, Kenny Bromwich able to ball play with Liero. And it just stops the Newcastle side being able to get so many numbers into the tackle.
You can't strike until the ball's in. Let's go again. Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go. Head in.
Felice is having a laugh out the back. He's
enjoying
funny.
himself.
Yes, that's good entertainment. Bradman Best up to halfway. They work him over on the ground there. Kafusi. This is Randall. Pine up in the line. They've got them retreating. Melbourne on their heels there. They're all running backwards right from to play the ball. They have a chance. Knights. Still a little more than a handful of tackles they've had inside Melbourne's 20 today. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sasangi has lost the ball.
Yeah, he's having a tough day, Jake Clifford. Pass not finding its mark. You look at that first day at the SCG against the Roosters. Clifford was outstanding. And just a shadow of that today.
Melbourne back in possession, and the error count in the second half, not flash from the Knights. In fact, haven't completed a set.
Oh, Hughes over the top of Phoenix Crossland.
All Grant, but Grant's tripped over. I'm not quite sure who he's pointing out there. He thought he had someone offside. They're inside the Knights 40 with one try on the board in the second half. Now Brandon Smith shut down there. Randall and Frizzell. Randall's tackle count continues to climb. Munster's kick, come off the back of Clifford. Straight into the arms. That's forward ball. Oh, that's forward a mile, and they picked it up. Forward from Bromwich. Thank heavens they picked it up. Out to Meaney. And that saves the day for the Knights. I'll say 4 or 5 metres forward.
Just off the back there of Clifford, straight into the arms of Kenny Bromwich. And Tuala just did enough to get in the road. And Meaney slowly running it, and certainly a forward pass. But Melbourne again threatening.
All right, let's see if the Knights, the mission just has to be to complete a set at this point. Crossland, Clune.
Good shot, Jerome Hughes on
Clune. Then puts him on.
Great contact.
7 on 7. One at the top of his game, another one struggling. Best. Nice meters made there, back up towards halfway. Now Edric Lee, Clune. Not sure, as it's not slick. It comes centre field for Saifiti. Nothing rolling, nothing moving there. Randall is the kicker, and I'm not sure what age group I've just watched there. Well, Michael, again, I lean on you. What happened? I haven't seen a kick like that from a dummy half ever.
Just no communication. You could see that shift out to that right-hand side. Leo Thompson, Jacob Saifidi, they just didn't know who the ball was going to. And yeah, on the end, just Randall out of dummy half, just making a decision, trying to do it alone. He had Jake Clifford on the right-hand side. Is Clifford talking? I'm not sure. But it wasn't the right option. A poor kick from Randall. Now Melbourne with a great opportunity.
Grant for Hughes. Looks left. There's Munster. And didn't lose it there into Clifford. It was on the way out. He's just held on to the ball, Bromwich. This is Harry Grant. Crossfield has beaten Crossland, puts in a kick. Chasers weren't aware of it. Lee is with it for the Knights. Now Grant gets down there and cuts him down with an axe. Harry Grant. What a play.
Yeah, he's been brilliant this afternoon, Harry Grant. And out of dummy half, I'm not sure it looks like the right option to start with, but he just continues to scheme and press across the field. Found a space to get the ball through, and just when you thought Edric was going to get out, who's there? Harry Grant, like a terrier, just comes and cuts him straight around the ankles, and they maintain possession.
Ryan Pappenhausen has dropped out of the game this last 12 minutes. He's still out there, but he hasn't had a run in this second half. Lurking. And there's Clifford with the line dropout. And it will be Hughes to link up. And Josh King on his return to Newcastle at the moment, shaping as a big winner. They haven't used Tyron Wishart or Tepai Moeroa this afternoon. The Melbourne Storm. Jack Johns is on the bench for the Knights. Yet to see him play. 30 points to 2. You try every card in the deck. 28 metres away from the line. Grant, Jerome Hughes over the top. Bromwich, Pappenhausen. Got away from Sasangi at first attempt. One get away, then a pass off. And it's meeting. Wow. That ball was over the sideline and he's pulled it back in with the left hand. Munster, Grant, not quite their best attack, Melbourne, the last few sets, to be honest. And you hear the call of last tackle. Harry Grant, now Smith, Hughes, Coates. Is there another one coming? He got a catch, he lost it forward. The Knights have got the ball. Best is going away now. Bradman Best to the 30-metre line.
Yeah, Melbourne just came out and individuals at the moment just trying to take it upon themselves to try and extend this scoreline. They're not attacking in those traditional themes that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, particularly the first half and the back end of last week's game. At the moment, Melbourne just out of sync a little bit with their attack.
So now Randall, Kalen Ponga. Again, they're retreating on the right side, Melbourne. They start moving back. Now Randall, they will go that side again. Jones and Best. Best to run. Offloaded, ball lost. Melbourne come up with it. Brandon Smith kept alive. Pappenhausen. Now Cameron Munster. He's in attacking mood here. Justin Olam with a ball. Away from Sasangi. It's a tough initiation for Simi Sasangi. See the replay box where it finished for Bradman Best and Randall.
Offloaded out of his left-hand Best and hit his right arm. That's where the little bobble came from.
Let's take a comment from the sideline from Alex McKinnon.
There's just been an interchange made by the Newcastle Knights. Jake Clifford has just been pulled from the field, replaced by a middle forward in Jacob Saifidi. And the Newcastle Knights obviously facing a tough injury battle at the moment, but yeah, insufficient performance at the moment by Jake Clifford.
Ball comes up with Meany.
Crossland. It's gone to 5'8", sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, I think that's the old-fashioned hook. With respect. Now Grant. Oh, Pappenhausen and Ponga. The 2 Ps. 2 stars head-to-head. One stepping, one makes the tackle. Last play it is. Grant another kick. He's got it off the upright padding.
Who's just come
it's
on.
a try. Tepai Moeroa's come from the grandstand to score. He's a try scorer for Melbourne. Tepai Moeroa.
Yeah, again, it's a little number 9 just scheming. It was a great play down this left-hand side. That combination of Grant, Munster and Pappenhausen. Look at this, Grant into the second marker, back on the inside, Pappenhausen. Look at this tackle from Ponga. Missile-like, brilliant. The two number 1s coming together. Munster finds Grant, there it is, sums it up beautifully, hits the right pad. And Tepai Moeroa, he's seriously just run onto the field. As Alex McKinnon was saying that Jake Clifford had been given the butcher's hook, yes. Tepai Moeroa has just run onto the field and he's picked up a try.
It's his first since 2019 in the final series. Remember that game, Parramatta-Brisbane, final series? They won, what, 58-0? That's the last time he got a 4-pointer in the NRL. He's come back to league via the Waratahs. Tepai Moeroa, he can't believe it. Super sub.
He's been great for Melbourne in the short periods that he's contributed. He comes on, he's big and physical.
Well, I'll give you the role. It's something Josh King said this week, and with Tepai Moeroa. Josh King, who people see as an incredible value signing, he said the turning point for him at Melbourne, and you can explain this better, he just said has been confidence, self-belief, and clarity. He just knows his job. Tepai Moeroa comes off the bench, knows his job. But Josh King just knows what he has to do, and they believe he can do it. Is it as simple as that, Mike?
It is. It really is for some of those interchange forwards that have to sit there. It's a difficult task. They don't know when they're coming into the game. They don't know how they're going to come into the game. Yet the coach relaying messages, this is exactly what I need from you. This is what I want from you. You're going to play this amount of time. Go to work. And they get it done.
Well explained. Alex McKinnon sideline.
Mixed spot on there, mate. They hunt, they come on, they chase, and they don't give up. And not that the Melbourne Storm are worrying at the moment, but in the next 4 weeks, the Newcastle Knights are going to get some back with Brayley, Fitzgibbon, Gagai, Hunt, Momasia and Young. They're obviously missing a few players at the moment, but the last 25 minutes, we've got to see some effort here.
Yes, and Alex, their next game, they do have to go to Townsville next Saturday night. And that now becomes pretty
how good are the Cowboys going?
Tough road trip. That's our game, exclusive to Fox League, next Saturday night. Cowboys and Knights, 2 weeks away from Magic Round, of course, which you will see every game here, right here on Fox League. Dragons, Tigers to follow this one today. Sunday night with Matty Johns, Victor Radley, special guest. And now Moeroa, what a contrast in minutes for him.
It was Jacob Saifidi. He came out of a cannon and hit him really hard off the kickoff. He hasn't moved.
This may be the shortest and most
productive stint.
Fall-on-line try, one hit up shoulder. I hope he's okay. Bromwich to Pappenhausen. Justin Oller puts a little stutter in his step. Good tackle, Sasangi, on what's been a very tough day. Pappenhausen. Munster. Aero gets better and better.
Moeroa's left the field. That's for Solomona. He's back out there from Melbourne. Doesn't get any easier.
Far side of the ground. He's right in front of the Andrew John stand. Ponga on the ball. Munster. So they're back with it. So that's it. A 1 minute involvement from Tepai Moeroa. Got a try and then a kick-off return.
Here it is. Watch Saifidi just come leaning in. Bang. Yeah, just hits him.
Well, they didn't muck around by leaving him out there. He's still over the far side of the ground, right in the corner. It's a long walk back. Saifidi on this carry. Daniel, no birthday cheer for the brothers. Well, that suggests partial dislocation, doesn't it, when the arm goes in the sling? It's not a burner by any kind. There's now Crossland to Thompson. And Thompson carries up over halfway. Jack Johns is up on the bench. Have to react to it. Crossland goes across to Jones. Coach then had to suddenly scramble back up into the line. He was thinking kick was coming. 36-2. And 90-2 it is for Melbourne since half-time in the game against the Warriors. Crossland, Clune, Ponga, Sasangi, support, tries a move, Olam's on him. It's tough. It's first grade. Munster and Ponga had a little game of twister back in the field. Now Saifidi, Daniel Flick pass on the deck. Thompson with it.
Look who's there.
Tracked down. Harry Grant.
Yeah.
Had a crack. Then Thompson runs in. What's Olam doing over there? What's he doing over that side
Oh,
of the
Jesse
field?
Bromwich one-on-one steal.
So Melbourne come up with the ball after all of that.
And Newcastle at the moment, one of the Newcastle's strengths is their power. Yeah, through Clemmer and the Saifidi brothers, Tyson Frizzell at the moment. Daniel Saifidi just 54 metres. Jacob Saifidi only 2 runs. David Clemmer, well, he's tried. He's got 60 metres, but at the moment, Newcastle just...
And no forward last week ran for over 100 against Parramatta. You know, here we were expecting lift. That ball, oh, coach does well. He's got it back under. I've got nothing but bad news now. The live ladder will show for you in a moment. If they were to concede another converted try here, they would actually go to last the Knights after the Bulldogs won last night over the Roosters. Here's Ponga underneath the ball. That would be on points differential. Newcastle relegated to bottom spot.
He's got it, Munster.
On the ladder, Munster stripped them again. They got 2 strips in a row. Melbourne. Pappenhausen pushed, play on, lost his legs, finished off. Squashed, in fact, by Frizzell. No sounding the alarm there for Pappenhausen. Grant, Jesse Bromwich.
Watch out for Big Nelson. He loves this range.
Then back to Harry Grant. Watch out for Harry. He's offloaded. Munster sees the space. Long ball. What a pass. Right on to the chest of Nick Meaney. You talk about heads-up play. Cameron Munster, one glimpse, giddy up.
Yeah, a couple of big moments from Munster. The one-on-one steal on Kalen Ponga. Just watch the Melbourne players. They just peel off. And he just goes to work, pinches it. And then, as you said, Andrew, just brilliant. Look at that vision. Facing Newcastle, facing their own goal line, I beg your pardon. And just, he's a freak, Munster. He's in such great form. Grant again out of dummy half. Bromwich offload. Late, got Grant scheming and looking for an opportunity. He then found Munster pushing back there. Watch this. Yeah, just turns his back and fires at the Meaney. Great footwork from Meaney. Still had plenty of work to do, but Munster, it's been quite incredible from Munster. There's been so much speculation about his future, whether it be at the Storm, Dolphins, or the Broncos in the frame, and he's just continued to keep his head down and perform. And it's often spoken about where players just say, well, I just need to go and perform. The rest will look after itself, and that's exactly what he's doing. Cameron Munster being outstanding. He has been tremendous again today, and it all started with Harry Grant. Gee, Grant's having an afternoon. 7 runs, 51 metres. He's had a couple of line breaks, 3 try assists. And his defensive work, his pressure, Alex McKinnon just said they come on and they hunt. Well, Grant is just hunting everything.
So Meaney gets his name on the list. He almost got one in the first half, and it was a brilliant try saver from Kalen Ponga. So this, if he kicks it, Newcastle, live ladder, last in round 8, having started with back-to-back wins. Pappenhausen, 5 metres in from touch. He's got it. He's got it. Oh boy, I don't know how you take it, Newcastle, but it's grim. It's very, very grim. 42-2, and the Knights are rock bottom in many aspects. And there is the ladder, minus 106 points differential. Shifts them to last on the table. Team has played in the finals the last 2 years.
Yeah, sitting atop of the ladder just after the first 2 weeks of the competition too. It's been such a rapid decline for Newcastle, and what makes it worse, Andrew, as we see Big Nelson charging into the line, the way they've been beaten at home. The way they've been beaten at home now the last 3 times. They were towed up by Manly in the wet. A dreadful performance against the Parramatta side last week, and an opportunity to turn around it today. And, you know, to be fair, some of their defence has been embarrassing on their goal line.
Yes, Sunday to Sunday, that's right. Running tally is 81-4. 2 penalty goals is all they've got. And they've conceded 81 points in front of their home fans. They're 10 metres inside their own half. We have the Dragons, Tigers still to come. Hughes is even going to try 40-20, is he? Hasn't got the angle on it. It's still depth, and the chase is being led by Munster. The 1%ers. Munster's in his face. Cop that.
Yeah, he's leading the way here, Cameron Munster. Grant's been great around the middle, but he's really cranked up. He's cranked it up here in the second half, Munster. Their first couple of sets are a little wayward, I thought, Melbourne, to start the second half, and he's really sharpened the axe, Munster. He's taking them to task now.
At 42-2, you put that energy burst in and complete the tackle. Comment from the sideline from Alex McKinnon.
Sitting here today on the sideline, it's quite incredible to see some of these players play. Guys like Munster and Pappenhausen, you just see so much of the leaders that they've played with Cameron Smith and Slater. You just see those type of actions and mentality really rub off on them. Just an update on the injury. Tepai Maroa has a shoulder injury. Looks like an AC joint.
Okay, is now...
Oh, chance to pass there. Justin Olam was away.
Yeah, Tuala tackle on Meaney. Now Munster on for Coates, who's come in from the right wing. 7 metres inside the Knights half. Melbourne, can they get to the half century again?
Oh, absolutely they can. Yeah, they love this last quarter of a game, the Melbourne Storm.
Wishart out there in the dummy half duties for Harry Grant. And Smith also off the field. Oh, that's not a good moment. Tyron Wishart. So you wait all afternoon, you're coming in, your team's well on top, and you have to reset now.
It's always a challenge when you sit on the bench for such a long period. You come out, you're wanting to make a difference. He's been sitting there watching Harry Grant run riot, and just a little lack of concentration, thinking what he was going to do before he got the fundamental right, and that was pick up the footy. He's a good player, Tyron Wishart. He'll dust that off, he'll keep going. Harry Grant getting a well-earned rest, Andrew. He's been superb this afternoon.
The Empole State of Origin Series, Michael, is on sale now. You can be there live to witness Australia's greatest sporting rivalry in Sydney, Perth and Brisbane. Tickets selling fast, so head to nrl.com/tickets today. Perth, the third venue this year. So Newcastle with the ball, still chasing a try. Jacob Saifidi with that run. Now Crossland and Johns is on. Jack Johns in just his 9th career game and his first for the season. And how he would have hoped things to unfold. That scoreline, here's Clemmer. .30 away from the line. Crossland trying now to take the reins. He's in a dress rehearsal for next week, you would think. The offload, Ponga the juggle. And when you're hounded down there by Nelson Asafa-Solomona, you think you're fearing the worst. You're checking your life insurance. As Clune kicks, he was knocked down by Nelson. And Coates is underneath it. They're fine with a challenge from Nelson on Clune. Clune, to his credit, got up. No dramas. So Melbourne will come off their line at 42-2.
Today, have they? Come off their own line. Look, they're looking to shift already. Look at this, Munster pulling the trigger.
Show you the live ladder just to talk, when we talk about points differential down the bottom of the table, what we've got at the top of the table at the moment with these two great clubs that are going to play exclusive to Fox League and Super Saturday. What about that on the table then? Penrith plus 150, Melbourne plus 181. You go down to North Queensland at plus 82 the next. That's a distinct
gap,
margin.
Yeah. Well, they're just so relentless, both sides, that once they get a sniff, once they... We'll see a captain's challenge. Once they start to get their nose in front, they just go for blood, don't they? Both sides.
Probably could have said there, well, they're having a challenge because they've got a challenge.
Yeah.
You sorted out 12 and a half to go.
Justin
So,
Olam
we'll
loses
pause.
the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, there we go.
It's a knock-on.
The ref feels like the boss. His decision was spot on.
Yep.
They've had a breather, though, Melbourne, in defence.
Hey, just listening to Matt Russell talking about the halftime comments from Craig Bellamy, and he won't want to try here. He was disappointed. I mean, they only conceded 2 points in the first half. They came off a penalty goal right on half-time. He will not want to concede points here at all. Look at him wandering round, just constantly thinking of how they can improve. It's great to watch.
Give you a little target in the last 12.5 minutes. It's very Melbourne-oriented, but in the NRL era, the most number of points through 8 rounds was the Knights of 02, who scored 300. And Melbourne at the moment sitting on 285.
Okay.
So they can, it would be somewhat ironic to pass the Newcastle tally in Newcastle, but they wouldn't be aware of that. But there's a number for you from the Fox Sports Lab crew. But let's see if Newcastle can come up with something here. Ponga got past Munster. Where is that form from the opening 2 weeks? Randall here for Clemmer. Goes too wide. A juggle from Saifiti. Didn't come into contact. That was Jacob coming into contact with a Melbourne player. We'll go for Clemmer again. A dummy. David Clemmer back for Crossland. Then Saifiti, Ponga, McClune.
Hunter
they
from
rushed
the
out.
inside from Kafusi.
Kafusi. Not sure I've seen a play that they would have rehearsed yet, the Knights, in this set. Crossland. Then for Daniel. He's offloaded. It's on the deck. It's not knocked on. They've got a set restart. So they get out of jail there. With Johns under the loose ball with 12 to go. Clemmer will take a run. And he won't be offloading in this tackle of Jesse Bromwich and Wishart. Now Randall. Left with Clune. Jig back infield. Now across field. Links up with Crossland. Good ball. No, not good ball. It goes past Chuala. The Knights' right side are having nightmares at the moment.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you're positioned on the field. You just do your job for Melbourne. Nelson Asafa-Solomona caught out of position here. You'll see as the ball comes back. Kafusi on that left-hand side, he'd come up hard, and on the right-hand side, Kenny Bromwich caught infield, and Nelson just doing his job, just getting forward and nothing going right. Adam O'Brien just completely, he's lost for words, run out of answers.
5 completed sets second half, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Among all the other problems, 5 completed sets. Kickoff was allowed to go dead.
Yeah.
We've had, you know, I think we've had just about every mistake they could make in the course of the afternoon. But, there's been a bit going on out there. Olam on this run. Melbourne going to throw Brandon Smith back in for the last 10.5 minutes here. By the way, before Melbourne get to that contest against Penrith in Magic Round, they have the Dragons next Sunday, the 2 o'clock game at Amy Park. Exclusive to Fox League again, that one. Richard on this run. He's worked over there on the ground by Randall. Crossland. Oh no. Well, this is the man who they'd be hoping to play in the halves next week. He's now down. Very ginger. Meantime, Melbourne go to within 21 metres of the line of the last tackle. Hughes calling for it here. It's Jesse Bromwich. Hughes has got it. He'll kick, looking for Wishart on the inside, and a chase through from Smith. They get it wrong, Melbourne. It goes dead, and they can have 7 tackles, Newcastle.
Yeah, Caleb Ponga just tucked in behind the play the ball here as
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix Crossland's going to leave the field. It was a tenacious run from Brandon Smith. Just steamrolled the Knights defenders.
Well, you talk about, look, I know he
Clifford
can't
coming
redeem
back
much,
on.
but you get a chance. You've been hooked earlier.
Yep.
I don't know where your head's at, but Jake Clifford, I wish him well. I hope he comes up with a big play in this last 9.5 minutes, goes for a run, beats a man.
Yeah. Yeah,
That'd
you're
be-
right.
that'd
You're
be
right.
heartening.
Well, Newcastle looked great in them opening 2 rounds when Clifford, you're right, was running the footy. He looked clear, he looked confident, and he took the line on.
So now the Knights with Clemmer inside for Saifiti. At least they mixed it up there, and like 7 or 8 metres as a result. Clemmer. And over halfway, Asafa-Solomona rides him down. Here's Randall. Clifford, he will get that chance to run. Goes across field, and chased by Wishart. Randall for Ponga. And out they go. Clune trying to get some quick hands, and then one-on-one. Remus Smith on Brodie Jones. Last play, Ponga running into trouble, really. Very narrow gap to put the kick in.
Yeah, he did well, followed his kick, and good contact there, but he's hurt himself, Ponga. Look to be clutching that right shoulder or right arm, doesn't he? He's just got it dangling at the moment. It was heavy contact on Pappenhausen. Melbourne just going back to work here. Jesse Bromwich up to the 20-metre line. Brandon Smith now out of dummy half.
Wishart really playing a running game as a forward now. And boy, is he trying. He's being a decoy runner. He's just pushing up on every play. As Melbourne go out Olam's way, Olam kept going along to Meaney.
Here comes
Meaney's down the left touchline. Munster and Pappenhausen, take your pick. There's a Ferrari and a Lamborghini to hop on board. And they went with the, well, what do you think?
Old Newt.
With a dirty bone.
Oh, that was brilliant. They've been looking for this shift all second half, and it's great hands from one side of the field to the other. The big guns stepping up. There it is, Hughes, Munster, Bromwich. Great hands there from Olam. Mooney, who's been outstanding on the left wing this afternoon. He had a luxury. He had Pappenhausen up the middle. He had Jerome Hughes pushing just behind Pappenhausen, and Munster just scheming and looming on his inside. Yeah, it's brilliant work. It is a great footy try, isn't it? Yeah. All the big guns there just exposing that right-hand side weakness of Newcastle, and Munster, look at him enjoying this. He has a little shimmy here on Edric Louis. Watch this, boom, boom. Yeah, Edric having, well, he's not enjoying the jokes, that's for sure.
No.
Not at this point in time.
And I must say, what was really tough in that, poor old Simi Sasungi, he's got the baby giraffe legs on. He's cramped up. He could offer nothing in a chase. And, you know, it's been such a, boy, it's been a tough afternoon. I mean, the loss of Gagai pre-match, and he's not going to be back in the next couple of weeks with a fractured cheekbone. And Simi Sasungi has been thrown in at centre to replace this man up against Justin Olam. And to be honest, Melbourne have terrorised the Newcastle right side today. Terrorised.
Well, they were awful last week. Parramatta, Sean Lane, Dylan Brown went to work down that side of the field. And again, Melbourne, as I said, they're so ruthless. When they expose a weakness, they just stay there. And they've just constantly gone there all afternoon. Pappenhausen now takes it to 48.
48 on the back of the massive second half last week. So what are we now? The abacus of Matt Russell. Coming up is the Dragons and the Tigers. Let's take a comment from the sideline, Matty Russell.
Yeah, some team news for both teams in the game to follow this one. West Tigers in Wollongong against St George Illawarra, both chasing 3 in a row. The Tigers have brought Asu Kapoa onto a wing in jumper 27. Here's the news. Talatau Amone will start in the halves alongside Ben Hunt, and off the bench in that number 14 role, wearing jumper 24, Jayden Sullivan. So Anthony Griffin to start with Talatau Amone and to bring Jayden Sullivan off the bench against West Tigers.
And we mentioned the name Noel Pitting right now. Noel Pitting had the record of 113 points after 8 rounds, of the Dragons of 51. And I do have to clarify that in the days of 3-point tries, but right now Munster has pulled up alongside of Noel.
Oh, look at this. Brutal Asifa Solomona charging into Randall. Munster gets an early mark.
So the park to hold a Newt there. Kenny Bromwich offload. Olam bounce pass. Meaning. One more gets them to 50. 48-2 against the Knights. They haven't, well, back-to-back losses without scoring a try has only happened twice in the club's history. 2016, and before that you're going to go all the way back to 1990. As Wishart gets to halfway. Now Pappenhausen looking for a runner close to the ruck. That's an odd play, that one. Now passes to Wishart, and Smith is the kicker. He just makes it up, finds space. Coates not overly interested in charging downfield after it, but there's enough down there to prevent Ponga making any big kick return.
Yeah, Brandon Smith there just leading the chase, and he's still barking orders, the expectations and the demands from the senior players here at Melbourne. exceptional. Just showing why they are such a quality side. 48 points to 2. It's been an absolute whitewash here in Newcastle this afternoon from the opening whistle. And Newcastle's attack, well, if it's looked pedestrian today, just 26 points in the last 5 weeks. That's all they've been able to find.
Clemmer now, Clune, Jones. It's initiation for a captain, isn't it, for Kalen Ponga? Now he has to handle this ball on the ground. Daniel does his best. It's out to David Clemmer, left foot kick. Well, that may well be the highlight of the day, the way they cheered.
What else?
Clem put a left foot kick downfield.
Left with no other choice, David Clemmer. That's a number of times this afternoon. The last play options for Newcastle have just been absolutely disastrous.
And this isn't a criticism of David. That might be the bottom of the barrel. Like, it's 48-2, and we get down to the last play. A chip over the top, something, like it ends up in the hands of Clemmer, side on, putting a left foot kick downfield.
Yeah, you don't often see this either in Newcastle, where the fans are just streaming out the gates. There's still plenty of time on the clock.
So now Brandon Smith and Jesse Bromwich, Jerome Hughes, Pappenhausen, hands on for Coates, sliding the fence. Knights cover it up. Coates won't be going anywhere there. Finished off by Leo Thompson. Last play, Melbourne. Is there a kick to come out the way of Meany? No, they're going to look for Jerome Hughes. It's Clifford. Oh, he's missed it. Hughes, he was taken down off the ball. Hang on. Hang on. The Pappenhausen alarm is going off. The Melbourne fan behind the fence says that's a try, sir.
We have no try.
Okay.
Can we check grounding? Also a possible escort in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Jerome Hughes definitely taken off the ball, so we'll definitely go back for a penalty. But this has got Gasnier and Inglis written all over it at the SCG.
Kick chase from Melbourne Storm is onside.
Watch Wishart come out of a cannon. The 15 through the middle of the park. Once Clifford misses the
runs
footy.
across the line of Jerome Hughes.
Okay, so he's run across the line of Jerome Hughes. Now Tyron Wishart. Oh,
At this stage, the ball is alive.
Wow.
This will be the best one we've seen. This will be the best one we've seen. If this... Oh, no, he's put it on the ball, then bounces off the line.
We have a penalty against Daniel Safidi for an escort.
We go back to penalty. It could have been sin bin then, because it's a try-scoring situation. So if you're penalising Daniel, we've had everything else happen to Melbourne, to Newcastle today. You might as well have a sin binning. Yeah.
Well, the way Newcastle are going, they're not going to win the competition, but the stat still stands firm. If they get 50 conceded here, they will not win the competition. Do they take the 2?
Brilliant.
Do they just ruin their season?
Brilliant commentary again, Michael. So, yes, they could kick for 50. Is there a sin bin? There's no sin bin. Well, you can say it's by the by, but you would like consistency in a try-scoring situation. But not to worry, and they are. They're going to go for the 50. That's rather ruthless. That's almost cruel.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they might have scored and taken 54, but the fact that they are kicking... Well, he just says we can't win the comp. That's what he just said.
Come on, Ryan, please.
Pappenhausen for 50 points to 2. Dragons Tigers next up right here on Fox League. Both those clubs winning their last couple of matches. It's one of the matches of the round. 3 weeks ago, it's a stinker.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Now it's sensational. Let's hope it's a one-point game again involving the Tigers. And then tonight, Sunday night with Matty Johns, with Victor Radley, who can be a bit loose at times, as a special guest.
David Clement just standing watching Pappenhausen almost side on.
And there it is, 50 points to 2. Do you say
it should have
anything
been,
else?
Realistically, they've never looked like scoring, have they? They took the consolation 2 points on half-time from a penalty. But they've just never threatened. There's the Dragons starting to warm up now down in Wollongong, getting ready for the big game against the West Tigers. Jackson Hastings, wow, what a fortnight it's been from Jackson Hastings, and Luke Brooks as Adam O'Brien just puts his head in his hands. Where do Newcastle go? Bottom of the ladder. 2 games at home where they've just been absolutely flogged, to be honest.
Third biggest loss at home in the club's history. We keep throwing the Fox Sports Lab stats at you, and it is worthy of documentation where this stands. As Bromwich goes on the run, and again we say they're off to Townsville next Saturday night. Might make them walk there.
Yeah, well, Chad Townsend, just listening to him after the game, was his 200th last night, a great win for the Cowboys. Said they can't wait to get home. They've been on the road the last few weeks, and the way they're going, and they'll near fill that, won't they?
Right on halfway, Melbourne. Smith, Kafusi, he takes it up inside the 40-metre line. Still going about, just deliberate. We're not going to any incredible trick shot. We're just playing. Oh, that was forward. That was definitely forward, that one. They got that wrong. The outside, inside. And that might be their last possession of the day, the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, just trying a little trick play there. We saw it down this side of the field, or the near side of the field, with Grant and Munster and Pappenhausen. This time they go to the right. Brandon Smith just held the footy a little too long, and Jerome Hughes unable to rotate his body around enough for Remus Smith.
120 points in 2 weeks to the Melbourne Storm. As Michael said, by rights, it should be a clean 50-0 scoreline, this one. That penalty goal that the Knights kicked was after the halftime siren. Clemmer hit by Brandon Smith, who gets double money in the 80th minute with his side leading by 48. He rubs it into Adam Clune. Last play, the Knights, and it's a David Clemmer one-out hit-up. And it's another sad day for the Knights. But let's go with a positive and say to the Melbourne Storm, they are one heck of a rugby league team that we have the pleasure of watching and calling on Fox League. They are one serious football team. It's a Knights team well beaten. It's a Melbourne team on a march alongside the defending premiers Penrith. Last week 70-10 for Melbourne. This week it's Melbourne 50, the Newcastle Knights 2.